Welcome again. In today's session, we are going to discuss the inheritance, which is an important and fundamental principle of the object-oriented programming. So, one of the most powerful feature of the object-oriented programming is perhaps the code reuse. Okay, so that you can write a procedure once and then you can use it as many times as you want. Okay, so inheritance is the primary means of providing this functionality. So what is actually inheritance allows us? So inheritance allows a class to inherit the attributes and method of another class. So here I have an example to demonstrate the working of the inheritance, that how we use inheritance. There is a class of animals, a broad category which is called the mammals, and inside the mammals we have two subcategories, or you may say the instances of these, the cats and dogs. Okay, so certain things, there are certain things which these mammals have common. Okay, so these dogs have common, these cats have common, like the dogs also have eyes, the cats also have eyes, the dog also have skin color, the cats also have skin color, although the skin color is actually different but the attribute is the same. Okay, so they have brain, they also have brain. So there are certain, common things in them. So instead of writing these things for all of these again and again, that I write this thing for these again and I write this thing for these again, so we always need such kind of procedure which allows us to reuse the properties of the parent class. So this is actually how inheritance do, as you can, it is evident and it is very easy to understand from these arrays or arrows. Okay, so how inheritance is being implemented. So here is the example. As you can see that this mammal class is the parent or the super class. These below classes are the child classes. So here is very beautifully shown that this is the actually the UML diagram. Okay, so the UML diagram, the UML diagram is basically used in the object oriented programming to show the relationship between different objects, and it's basically used to design the objects and classes. Okay, so here you can see that this is the mammal class and we have an attribute like eye color. Okay, and get eye color, this is an attribute and this is the method. So these are is a type of integer, you don't need to worry about, this is RBG value. Okay, so in programming the color are rather than words, color are also displayed in the values. Okay, so there are certain numerical values assigned to each of the color, so we can use them as integer. So let's forget it and come to the point that the mammals have two subcategories, the dogs and cat. Okay, so dogs and cat have two extra attribute like the bark frequency. As you can see that this bark frequency is attribute which is special to this dog only. Okay, so cats do not bark, and here the mew frequency is specifically for the cats and not for the dogs. Okay, so here you can see that, but the eye color is common to both of these. Okay, so it can be used for these as well. And here in UML diagram, the arrow, here you can see that there's certain pattern. This diagram is follows that it is starting from here and the arrow is to the parent class. Okay, so where the arrow is, it shows that it is the parent class, and where is the tail of the arrow, it shows that it is the child class or the subclass. So here is the arrow and the mammal is the parent class, and here it's is tail of the arrow and it is the subclass. Okay, so further, as you can see that we can inherit for furtherly. Okay, so dogs also inherited, being inherited to the German Shepherd and Poodle. These are the two types of the dogs, the two species, you can say, German Shepherd and Poodle. So is German or is French, these are the method which is specifically to German Shepherd and Poodle species respectively. Okay, so as you can see that inheritance allow this German Shepherd class to use the properties of this mammal class. Okay, even though it is one step ahead of this German Shepherd. Okay, so you can make categorize it as no matter how much you want to inherit it. So after so many class you can add this child class, and then this can be further inherited. Okay, so this can be continuous. But there's a certain problem in the Java, specifically Java, that you cannot inherit a single class for two parent class. Okay, so there cannot be two parent of the same class. So this is a restriction in the Java, which is called the multiple inheritance. So it is not allowed in Java, unlike C++. I have written that in C++ it is allowed, but in Java it is not allowed. So inheritance is, as you can see, that it is a relationship. So as you can see that here I have written a diagram shape, and there are three symbols: the circle, the star, and the rectangle square. So consider this example, and you can see that this inheritance is actually a relationship. This circle is a shape, this triangle, this star is a shape, this box is a shape. Okay, so when a subclass inherits from a superclass, it can do anything that the subclass can do. Okay, the circle, square, and star all are the extension of the shape. So such kind of relationship are called the is a relationship. So this is very important terminology to know, that this inheritance is actually a is a relationship. So let's code together, my friends. So I'm here back in my coding section. So in the src folder, I have made a package inheritance, and in it I'm going to make a printer class. Okay, so here I have created a printer class. Now I'm going to tell you that first of all we shall create a printer class, and then I'm going to extend it, make it subclass, which is a colorful printer, and then I will show you how the inheritance actually work. So let's give it some attributes. Okay, so string model. Okay, so string company, and int price. Okay, so these three attributes are, as you can see, that these are common to every printer in the world. Every printer has a model, has a company, and has a price. Okay, so this was our parent class printer, and I'm not going to make a very complex class. This is just to show you an example of inheritance. In the same package, I'm going to create an other class, let's say for colorful printer dot java, and here it has created. Now to use the properties of its parent class, we have to inherit that class. Okay, so for the inheritance we have to use the word extends. As you can see that this is showing as a colorful thing, extends, so it's a keyword. Okay, so now we are going to write the name of the class printer. Okay, so we have successfully extended the printer class colorful printer to from the printer. Okay, so now let's create a method or an attribute which is specific to that colorful printer. So let's write int number of color inks. Okay, so as you can see that this is specific to colorful printer, because in black and white computer we do not have such variety of inks. So let's create a main method in it, and then I will show you how the inheritance actually work. Okay, so first of all let's create a object of this colorful printer class. Let's call is printer1 p1. Okay, so p1 stand here for printer1 is equal to new colorful printer. So we have created, so our object is p1. Okay, so since it is created in colorful printer class, and you can see that the colorful printer class has only one attribute, this number of color of inks. Okay, but I'm going to use the properties and attributes of the printer class also in this well. Like here, as you can see that this class has no attribute like price, but I'm going to assign this p1 a price. Okay, so p1 dot price is equal to 5000, let's say. Okay, as you can see that it is not showing an error to me because it has successfully extended from that printer class, and now this line is demonstrating the inheritance. Okay, we are using the properties of the previous class or the parent class into subclass. The parent class is the printer class and the colorful printer class is its subclass. Okay, so another property that we have used is model. Okay, so p1 dot model is equal to, let's say, and sign it as a number, a random number az100. Okay, I don't think whether it's a right number or not. Since it is string, we have to enclose it in the columns. Okay, so let's assign it another p1 dot company. Okay, as here you can see that whenever you write dot, this is a very intelligent IDE. This is the IntelliJ IDEA. It give you all the possible attribute which can be assigned. I am clicking on the company and pressing enter, and company, let's say it is HP printer. Okay, and let's say we are going to assign it another attribute like number of color rings is equal to 3. Okay, so in the colorful printer there are actually 3 color in addition to black, RGB, red, green, blue and black. Okay, so number of colorings are actually 3 and one is black. So here you can see that I have assigned 4 properties: price, model, company and number of color inks to the object p1, but the p1 is created in a class colorful printer which has only one attribute, number of color of inks. Okay, so the other attributes are assigned to it by using the principle of object oriented programming, which is called the inheritance. Now let's see whether we have assigned right attributes to it or not. So I'm going to print these one by one. So the where it has gone actually, so let's cancel it. Price of printer, price of printer is p1 dot price. Okay, and likewise I'm going to print the company of the printer, and the company of the printer is p1 dot company. Okay, so let's print only two attributes. I'm just oh sorry, let's print another one of the same class, number of colorful inks. Okay, so here write the plus and p1 dot number of colorings. Okay, so here I'm going to print the 3 attributes. The last attribute, the last print statement should work evidently because it is in the same class, but I am focusing on the first 2 print statement, the p1 dot price and p1 dot company, that whether they are going to print it or not. So let's run this. Okay, so let's think what happens. Wait a second, this takes some times, and here it's parsing, and as you can see that price of the printer is 5000, company of the printer is HP, and the number of colorful inks are 3. Okay, so this was just a demo to how the inheritance actually works.